Yo, what's going on, guys? Today, in this video, I'm gonna be bringing some interesting Scream 7 theories, and we're just gonna get right into them and pretty much discuss who I think, which member of the Core 4 will die in Scream 7, which character. And I think this should be an interesting one to talk about because I've heard multiple different theories of which Core 4 character some fans think are going to die in Scream 7. And I have my own theories. So, yeah, we're going to talk about them in this video right here. But before I get into it, if anyone's new, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, we're just going to dive right into this. So, for Scream 7, like I said, which Core 4 member or character do I think is going to die in Scream 7? Well, first, let's just go through the Core 4 characters and talk about them for a second. So, first, we have Sam Carpenter, or Samantha Carpenter, whatever you want to call her. She's our main character, of course. And Sam, you know, she has kind of gone through this journey that we saw in Scream 5 and Scream 6. So now heading to Scream 7, will Sam die in this movie? Will this be her death? I think it is possible for sure. And, like maybe they'll, Radio Silence and the writers, maybe they want some type of a big shocker death scene, and they're like, oh yeah, we should kill the main character, and they end up killing off Sam. So Sam Carpenter is definitely a possible death for sure. And it's pretty interesting just to just theorize whether if our main character is going to die or not, because I mean we've pretty much focused on Sam for 2 movies straight now, and now heading on to Scream 7, that'll be 3 movies. So imagine for the final film of the trilogy, they just choose to kill her off. That would be shocking. But who knows if they're actually gonna go through with that. And we also have other characters of the Core 4 as well that we have as an option. So we also have Tara. She's also another Core 4 character, obviously, and it's possible that she ends up dying as well. Let's just think through this for with Tara. We've seen her journey as well as a character being fleshed out with her sister Sam through Scream 5 and Scream 6, and now heading on to Scream 7. There's a possibility as well that maybe Radio Silence and the writers, they'll be like, oh yeah, maybe we'll kill the sister of the main character to have this be an impact for the film as an impactful death, and they end up choosing to kill off Tara. I mean, that's possible. I definitely think that's possible for sure. And just thinking about it, it's like it'll be just mind-blowing as well to see if Tara ends up actually dying. Like, that would be shocking to me, and pretty interesting idea that maybe they might end up going with. And I know some fans, they say like, oh, but Tara is played by Jenna Ortega, and maybe the directors and writers, maybe they're not going to want to kill her off because she's such a big actor. Jenna Ortega is such a big actor right now, and I've even seen some fans say it might even be like a bad choice to kill her off because the fact that Jenna Ortega is such a big actor, and she's like, I guess, sort of the drawback to this franchise. And some fans have just said, like, overall that they think it's a bad choice for them to kill off Tara because they think that, you know, Jenna Ortega is the one bringing the money, the main money to the table. So she's like a big factor in that. So they think it's a bad idea to kill off Tara because of the fact that she's played by Jenna Ortega. You know, so I've seen some fans say that. But the thing is, though, is that I don't think that really matters, at least for the final film of the trilogy. Because if we're talking about Scream 5 and 6 and they killed off Tara, played by Jenna Ortega, obviously, then yeah, maybe I would have probably agreed with that and been like, yeah, they probably should not kill Tara off so early because, you know, a lot of fans, they like her, and especially because Jenna Ortega's been blowing up lately in Hollywood, and, you know, she's pretty much a big name now. So it's like, yeah, I probably would have agreed with that. If we're talking about Scream 5 and 6, I probably would have been like, yeah, they shouldn't choose to kill off Tara. I feel like that's a bad choice. Yeah, I probably would agree with that. But we're heading on to Scream 7 now, and this they've even like there's no doubt that, you know, this is going to be like the final conclusion to this new trilogy with Radio Silence. You know, Scream 7 is going to be the final film of this new trilogy. It's going to be the final chapter. So, therefore, killing off Tara, you know, after, you know, having some type of attachment to her character for 3 movies, it's not really that bad of an idea, because if it's going to be the final film anyways, you might as well go big and kill off a character that can be impactful as a death. I feel like that's, you know, that's very well a possibility that I think that, you know, they could end up going with. It like this is literally the final film of this new trilogy, so they can kill off anyone they want, to be honest. Like it's very well possible that Tara ends up dying in this film because you know, they're like, yeah, we have to have some type of shocking death, an impactful death as well. So they kill off Tara, the sister of Sam. And, you know, that could end up being like, you know, just a sad, devastating moment, not only for a lot of us fans, but also for Sam, the character herself. She'll, you know, be just absolutely just heartbroken by her sister dying, and, you know, who knows what will happen after that. And I just think it'll be such a, you know, interesting decision, and not a decision I would really be bothered by if they chose to kill off Tara, honestly, because like I said, this is the final film of the movie. I mean, this is the final movie of the trilogy, so they can kill off anyone they want if this is going to be the final film. I mean, they could easily just be like, hey, this is the final film. We might as well just go big and kill off someone, you know, very shocking as a death, and you know, a character that can have an impactful death. We might as well do it. And I wouldn't really be bothered by it. It's very well possible that Tara dies. And, you know, so yeah, I feel like Tara dying is not out of the possibilities. Regardless if she's played by Jenna Ortega or not, Tara dying is still possible, you know? They've killed off big actors and characters before, so, I mean, the Scream franchise is known for doing this, so, you know, Tara dying is definitely possible for Scream 7. But we also have other choices and characters here, like Chad, for example. Another Core 4 member / character. Chad dying in Scream 7 is also possible. And, you know, he basically, you know, here's the thing, is that I thought one of the twins at least were gonna die in Scream 6, but they didn't. So now moving on to Scream 7, Here's the thing, is that whenever I went into Scream 6, I was thinking I don't really want to see any of the Carpenter sisters die, but at least one of the Meeks twins, one of them could die. And that was kind of my thinking that I had for Scream 6. And of course, none of the core four characters died, and they all lived. But now we're going into Scream 7, and I'm sure Radio Silence and the writers have seen some of the, I guess, negative feedback of, some fans that are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they didn't kill any of the, core four characters in this film. So I'm pretty sure Radio Silence is going to be like, yeah, I see what some of these fans are saying, so we're probably just going to kill one of these characters off in Scream 7. And Chad is definitely a possibility, especially because, as we've seen in Scream 5, he was stabbed quite a bit in that movie. He was stabbed like 7 times in Scream 5. And then, Scream 6, he stabbed which is interesting because, hold on, because I recently rewatched Scream 6 again, and I counted I kept playing back the scene where Chad gets stabbed in Scream 6, and I actually only counted, and I'm not saying this is this is only a few stabs, because obviously this is still a lot, but some fans have blown it out of proportion and tried to make it seem like Chad gets stabbed way more times than he actually does in Scream 6. And of course, some fans are just being sarcastic, but there's some fans that are actually serious and are trying to make it seem like Chad gets stabbed a certain amount of times. But I recently rewatched Scream 6 again, and I played back the scene where Chad gets stabbed, and I counted 12 stabs. And I remember saying that Chad gets stabbed 15 times whenever I made that video where I said, will Chad limp in Scream 7? When I made that video, I said Chad gets stabbed 15 times in Scream 6. But I recently rewatched Scream 6 and I saw that Chad gets stabbed 12 times. And I thought I was just, hearing or seeing stuff. But I watched the scene, like I said, of Chad getting stabbed in Scream 6. And he gets stabbed 12 times. Not 15, not 25, not 30, not 40, not 50. Some fans have like I said, some fans have really just tried to stretch the number out of their imagination and try to make it seem like, he stabbed more times than he actually was. And I'm not saying 12 stabs. I'm not saying 12 stabs is a little bit, because of course that's still a lot of stabs to take. But I'm just saying that some fans have stretched the number either purposely, sarcastically, or because they actually believe that he stabbed way more times than he actually was. I don't know, but I've just seen so many fans throw out random numbers and just be like, oh yeah, Chad is stabbed 35 times in Scream 6. But he wasn't actually stabbed that many times. He, like I said, he was stabbed 12 times in Scream 6. I recently rewatched it, and I thought I was just hearing and seeing stuff myself, but I played it back multiple times, and I counted 12 stabs. And like I said, that's still a lot. But, just in general, though, if we're talking about Chad dying in Scream 7, it's possible because of the fact that they could easily just be like, hey, we don't want to kill any of the Carpenter sisters, so let's kill one of the Meeks twins for Scream 7. And Radio Silence and the writers will be like, hey, how about Chad ends up being the one to die? So Chad dying in Scream 7 is possible, but the reason that, which I'll get to in a second, but I feel like it's not as possible for me at least, and I'll explain in a little bit. But let's get on to Mindy. Mindy for Scream 7. Will she die in this movie? And I feel like she's possible for sure. Mindy it's a possibility that Mindy dies in Scream 7. She could be one of the core 4 characters that ends up going. Because she's like pretty much the new Randy, and she's like they could choose to kill her off for whatever reason. They could easily go with her and kill her off. So like maybe they can have some type of, just like really like sad moment death for Mindy, and Chad is just like, maybe he's crying about his sister dying and something like that. Like they could go that route for sure. And I know some fans have even said like, Mindy should have been the Randy of Scream 2 and ended up dying. She should, like, I've seen some fans that, they said Mindy in Scream 6 should have been the Randy of Scream 2 who ended up dying. Like she should have died on the train when she got stabbed in the stomach. I've seen some fans say that. And just in general, because I know that there's some fans that don't like Mindy's character. In fact, I feel like she's probably the main character after Scream 6 that I see that like quite a bit of fans that they just don't like her. It seems like Sam, Tara, and Chad, they get the more appreciation, while Mindy, I'm not saying there isn't some fans out there that like her, but I'm just saying that she's the one that I see that, quite a bit of fans don't like, at least for me, at least from what I see. So I know some fans, they want her to die just in general. Like there's some fans that are like, yeah, she should have died in Scream 6 and now she should die in Scream 7. She should have been the Randy of Scream 6 and ended up dying on the train. Which, you could make an argument that she should have died in Scream 6. You can make an argument, especially for Chad dying in Scream 6. But she only got... Here's the thing, though, is that being stabbed in the stomach isn't really that, like she only got stabbed in the stomach like 2 times. And, it didn't take that long for her to get medical assistance. So it's not that far-fetched that she survived Scream 6. But, because we've had many characters in the past get stabbed in the stomach and survive. Like, Kirby got stabbed in Scream 4 in the stomach and she survived. And Sydney in Scream 4 got stabbed in the stomach as well. She survived. Like stomach stabs aren't that big of a deal. So, I'm not really that bothered by Mindy surviving Scream 6. Especially because I feel like they were trying to sort of subvert the Randy death. Because some fans were like, yeah, she's going to be the Randy of Scream 6 and die in this movie. So they kind of wanted to subvert that by keeping her alive. So I think that's kind of the decision they were trying to go with. And whether if you like it or not, I mean, that's pretty much, I feel like, what they were trying to do. But for Scream 7, I do think it's possible that she dies. Same thing with all the other characters. But if we're talking about which character of the core 4 do I think for sure, or at least not for sure, but which character for now do I think is going to die in Scream 7? I think it's going to be Tara. And let me give you my reasons why. Because, the thing is with Sam is that because she's the main character, I feel like they're going to want to expand more story on with her in Scream 7. So I feel like for me, even though I said all these characters dying for Scream 7 is possible, but at the same time, I feel like the main character might not die here. And I feel like, you know, they're gonna want to keep Sam around for the story and for, to expand more stuff with her, and just basically just have her be the main lead, like how she's always been at this point. And so I think Sam isn't really gonna die. It's possible, but I don't think it's really that possible for me. And with Mindy and Chad, with Mindy, I feel like because she's the new Randy and they already subverted that expectation of her dying in Scream 6, even though Randy died in Scream 2 in the sequel, and they subverted that with Mindy not dying. So I feel like they're not going to want to kill her off. They're going to keep Mindy around in Scream 7, and she's not going to end up dying. So Mindy being a character who dies is possible, but I don't think they're going to kill her off. I don't really think they are. I feel like, if anything, because like Kirby would probably be the one to die. And I know she's not really a horror buff anymore because, for those of us who saw Scream 6, I mean, like, she had her movie buff moments. Kirby had her horror movie trivia moments, and like with Mindy at the end in the shrine where they were both talking about their favorite horror movies. Like, Kirby and Mindy, they were, having that dialogue with each other, talking about horror movies. So, of course, Kirby still has a little bit of horror knowledge, and, she's still sort of that horror fanatic. But she wasn't as big on horror in Scream 6 compared to the Kirby that we saw in Scream 4 whenever she was still younger, and she was like constantly referencing horror movies in that film. So Kirby isn't really that big of a horror buff anymore, obviously, but I feel like Kirby is more bound to die in Scream 7 than Mindy. I feel like they're going to want to keep Mindy around. At least that's what I think. Chad, I know some fans, like I said, they felt like he should have died in Scream 6. And they've pretty much, said that. So, but here's the thing, though. Because Chad survived this many stabs already, and I feel like they're sort of making Chad the new Dewey by having him get stabbed a lot of times and surviving. I feel like they're not going to kill Chad off in Scream 7. And I know some fans they feel the opposite. They feel like because he was already stabbed a lot, that he needs to just die in Scream 7, or they just want him to die. But I feel like they're gonna keep Chad around, most likely, because I feel like they're pretty much making him the new Dewey. He's getting stabbed left and right, and Chad is still surviving. So in Scream 7, I feel like they're gonna keep him around and not kill him off in Scream 7. So Sam, Mindy, and Chad, I don't think they're really gonna die for Scream 7. I think it's gonna be Tara, like I said, because I feel like Tara is big. Here's the thing, because I gave my reasons why I think Sam isn't gonna die. I gave my reasons for why Mindy and Chad, I don't think they're gonna die. And you guys could agree or disagree, but Tara, I feel like her dying is more possible because of the fact that maybe Radio Silence and the writers, they're thinking right now, like, for Scream 7, we gotta go big. So let's kill off one of these big characters that maybe some fans aren't expecting to die. So they're probably gonna go with Tara and have her get killed off. and then first, she ends up dying in Scream 7 in such a shocking, mind-blowing way. And, she ends up just, pretty much getting killed off. And then we see how that affects Sam. And I just feel like that would be awesome, honestly, to see that reaction from Sam and just kind of, because now not only do we have a shocking, impactful death with Tara, but now we got to further expand on that death with Sam's reaction, including, of course, the other core 4 members. But yeah, Sam is like the main big one that will be affected by Tara's death because that's her sister. So I felt like, Sam will just be like, they could easily make this impactful, not only with the shocking death for Tara, but also, with Sam's reaction, just seeing how she deals with it. And I feel like that's what Radio Silence and the writers are going to do. So they're going to end up killing Tara off. And honestly, I don't really mind because, like, why not? Just, I don't really have a problem with them killing any of, because I love the core 4 characters, of course. But for Scream 7, at the same time, I don't really mind if they kill one of them off. And, whoever they choose to kill off, I don't really mind as long as they execute it right and they, of course, do it properly. But overall, I mean, if they choose to kill off any of the core 4 members and / characters, I don't really mind. But that's not to say I don't like their characters, like I said. But I just feel like Tara's she's the more expendable one that they end up going for here to kill off. And like I said, I wouldn't mind if they kill her off. Like, would it not be shocking if Tara died? And then just seeing that be so impactful, not only to the movie, but to Sam's character as well. Would that not be just like shocking? I feel like this is why I think Tara is the more likely to die. And if I'm right, then, I'm probably going to be like, wow, I can't believe I predicted this. But I very well could be wrong, of course. But I feel like Tara is probably going to end up being the one to die for Scream 7. They're going to, kill her off. And she's going to be that impactful, shocking death for everyone. And, like Sam, like I said, she's going to, like just seeing her reaction to that would be it'll be interesting. Because I know some fans, which I kind of want to, just talk about this for a second. Because I know some fans, they want her to be a killer. And even Melissa Barrera suggested it herself. And, it's that's kind of like the theory with some fans. They're like, yeah, maybe she becomes the killer. Which, like I said, if I'm being honest, I don't really want her to become a killer. But I do think it'll be interesting to see Sam's reaction to Tara's death, because that's her sister. And I feel like I don't want her to become a killer if Tara dies, but I do want Sam to like sort of just like snap a little bit whenever Tara gets killed off, and then Sam just like starts going on a hunting spree, I guess, and she ends up just like hunting for Ghostface killers, trying to just kill anyone that is, that she just basically, she kind of is just trying to like just go after Ghostface killers. Maybe she ends up killing someone, which I feel like they probably should have done this for Scream 6, but like, I've said this before, but like for Scream 6, I thought they were gonna accidentally kill off someone dressed in a Ghostface costume. And especially because it was Halloween in Scream 6. So I felt like they could have done that. But for Scream 7, maybe they could still do that somehow. And, maybe someone dressed up as Ghostface, and Sam is just like going bonkers, just, hunting for Ghostface killers, for anyone who could have killed her sister. And Sam just kills someone innocent who she thought was the actual Ghostface killer. And what, I feel like that would just be just shocking, mind-blowing. That would just be such an interesting just interesting path that I feel like they can go. That would just be such a fun thing to see on screen, for me at least. I would enjoy that. I feel like that would just be awesome. I would like just seeing Sam kill someone innocent who she thought killed her sister. Or maybe maybe they're not even dressed up in the Ghostface costume. Maybe she just loses her mind and kills someone innocent because she just simply assumed that this was the guy that killed her sister. Like, maybe that's why just Sam ends up killing someone innocent. Like, she just randomly assumes that it was this guy that killed my sister, so now I'm gonna kill them. Like, maybe that's Sam's mindset, and that's what she ends up doing. She ends up killing someone innocent, because of Tara's death, and because she assumes that it was this specific character that killed her sister, and she ends up killing them. And to find out that they were innocent and Sam killed someone innocent, that would just be so shocking. So yeah, I think Tara, not only do I sort of want Tara to die, and I'm not saying I don't like Tara's character, because I do. I really like Tara's character. I like all these characters. The core 4 characters are just, especially in Scream 6, they were just so well written. Amazing character development for all the core 4 members. But I feel like Tara is definitely a possibility out of every one of the core 4 to die. Tara is more possible, for me at least, in my opinion. And I feel like it would be such a shocker to most of us at least. And, especially to Sam, like, just seeing her reaction to her sister's death, like, it would just be such a, impactful, sad death and reaction with Sam. So, I mean, it's very well possible. And so, yeah, I think Tara is going to die in Scream 7, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's just basically what I had to theorize for this video. These are all just my theories on who I think is going to die for Scream 7. The core 4 member that I think is going to die for Scream 7 is Tara. So that's pretty much what we have here, guys. So, yeah, Sam, like I said, she's the main character. I feel like they're going to want to put more story with her for Scream 7, so they're not going to kill her off. Mindy, I feel like she's the new Randy, and, they already subverted the whole Randy dying in Scream 2, and then, we thought Mindy's going to die in Scream 6, or at least some fans did. And then, she didn't die. They subverted that. So I feel like they're going to try to, basically just keep Mindy alive. And for Chad, like I said, some fans, they've said, oh yeah, Chad should have been dead. And, he should die in Scream 7 because he's already been stabbed the law. Like, he should just die already. But like I said, I feel like they're making Chad the new Dewey, so I don't think they're gonna kill him off in Scream 7. So, they're gonna keep. I feel like they're gonna keep Chad around as well. So, I don't really see Sam dying, Mindy dying, or Chad dying. It's possible, but I feel like Tara is more of a possibility out of everyone for me. Out of all the core 4 characters, I think Tara is going to be the one to go. So, yeah, that's just my opinion, though. I feel like, Sam's the main character. Mindy, they subverted her death in Scream 6, so they're going to keep her around for Scream 7. And Chad is, you know, like I said, he's the new Dewey. So I don't think any of these characters are gonna die. I feel like Tara, she's the one for me that I think is a high chance of dying. So yeah, I think Tara's gonna die in Scream 7. But let me know what you guys think though. Like, because I know, you know, this video is probably long already. So I'm sure some of you who are watching this have a lot to process and are probably gonna comment something. Let me know what you guys think of this video and all the theories I made and all the things I've said, and you know what you guys think about certain things. Like, what character do you guys think for Scream 7? Like, which core 4 member / character do you guys think is gonna die in Scream 7? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna leave it here. So like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.